The next individual is a person I got to know starting about 40 years ago. And actually, it's his wife, Tina, who I got to know first. And she's more impressive than him. But I'm impressed with him and being with Tina. And so I kept talking to Kieran, and he's one of the smartest people I've ever been around. And he's dynamic, he's got an incredible amount of energy, and he's a person of ideas. He has a love for and is an advocate for law enforcement in our state. For 5 years, Kieran was an assistant United States attorney, serving in both the Eastern District of North Carolina and the Northern District of Georgia, where he concentrated in investigation and prosecution of white-collar crime. In 1989, he received the Director's Award from the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and was recognized as one of the most outstanding federal prosecutors in the country. His 5 years as a prosecutor gives him a unique understanding of the needs of our law enforcement professionals. His wife, Tina, is a captain for now. I think that's going up a little bit. In the U.S. Navy Reserves, they have 3 great children, Kate, Jimmy, and Patrick, and they currently live in Raleigh, which will be quite handy for them and the family. I've directed Kieran to begin an immediate review, and I think a very, very difficult challenge, a very difficult job to review and evaluate, first of all, because of recent tragedies throughout this nation. I want him to do an immediate evaluation of school safety in our state. And this must be a top priority of public safety, because ensuring that our children are safe is a priority of all of us, especially mom and dads and families. And I asked him to work with people in the school administrations and counties throughout the state to make sure that we're doing everything we can possibly. He is also charged with assessing a very large department that is looking at its organizational structure to ensure it's prepared to carry out its missions efficiently. And one thing is certain, I want him to do a total review of the recent consolidation needs or implementation that was done recently, and to ensure that's been done properly, or if we need to make any revisions in that consolidations of the current department. I want to make sure that consolidation has occurred, the economies of scale that was promised, and make sure that the current employee workforce is meeting the objectives that are needed in all the departments that were recently combined. We are also looking for areas to integrate law enforcement and also promote cross-training opportunities among the employees in public safety. So we're looking at doing that based upon feedback from many employees in those departments. I also want to emphasize Bobby Jindal, Governor Jindal in Louisiana, said one of the governors, Governor, one of your first responsibilities is make sure your emergency management team is well in place. And he's going to be given that responsibility to do a very quick review of emergency management to make sure we're ready to go on January the 5th. These are very, very important responsibilities. It's a huge, huge role that he has agreed to take on, and I'd like to thank you, Tina, for allowing him to do that. It's my honor to introduce the Secretary of the Department of Public Safety, Kieran Shannahan.
I'd say it's both an honor and a privilege to undertake this responsibility as an understatement. I'm humbled for the opportunity and thank the governor for that. And we may disagree a little bit about the scope of government from time to time, but I think it's beyond pre-adventure that the number one and most important thing the government can do is to keep its people safe. Every other liberty that our Constitution guarantees is diminished without safety. And so I take this obligation seriously, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. The reason I'm willing to do it is twofold. One, I have a heart for law enforcement. There's something special about someone who puts themselves in harm's way for you. People who have dedicated themselves to something larger than themselves. To be back in amongst those folks is going to be a great joy and a great privilege. And the second reason is the governor-elect. I believe in Pat McCrory, what he stands for, what his administration stands for, and the great team that he's put together. And I'm glad to be a small contributor to this great convention. I look forward to serving the people of the state of North Carolina. Thank you.